To Truth Moment. Okay, there's a very interesting concept, and really to understand what's going on, the Lubavitch Rebbe said many of the things that are going on in the world today, to understand it, you have to understand this concept. It's called Yizboru V'Yislavnu. That means that before the coming of Mashiach, things will get clarified. I don't want to be political, but I'm just bringing this out because it's an important point for clarity. I grew up in America, 51 years old, and basically people got along. Fact was, very nice. When there was Hillary Clinton came out with the book It Takes a Village, and the Republicans were like, oh, that's big government, and she was like, no, you need a family. They were arguing over ideas. They weren't insulting each other. Then along came Obama, which really the reason President Trump became president was because you could fact check, you could look this up, invited him to the White House dinner, and he completely was really very, very sick. He completely insulted him, humiliated him. And so this kind of like pleasure, sadistic pleasure in humiliating others wasn't acceptable. And suddenly it became part of the course. You look at the YouTube comments, very not nice. And but what it did do, ironically, a positive, believe it or not, is it separated, because when people are together, they kind of just agree with one another because they want to have the primary thing that makes us think the way we think is desire. And so now the left became radical left, and the right went into center right, which, to the credit of the right, most of it is independence, just aligned in terms of value system. But the reason I'm saying this is that the world today is becoming separated. Anybody that can support Hamas, which are mass murderers, not only of Jews, but of quote unquote fellow Arabs, obviously either is completely brainwashed or has no morals whatsoever. And so the very fact that we find the Democratic Party and many left supporting Hamas shows that they are completely devoid of values. It's like people supporting the Nazis, no different whatsoever. And so this is actually very good for the Jewish people. We'd like to be part of the wider world, but anybody that wants to be honest and a truthful person has to ask themselves the question now, which is like, this guy came to Tzfat and he's like, I thought I had friends. And then suddenly, like, if I don't support Hamas, he's a Jew, grandparents Holocaust survivor, suddenly they're not my friends. This is radicalism. This is neo-Nazism. This is sick stuff. And it uncovered that a lot of people are not moral. Quite simply, they are not based in moral values. And moral values are only found from God. They're only found in the Bible. That's where they're found. That's what brought it to the world. And so you can be very proud of yourself if you're connected to that. And it's not to shame somebody that's not, but to say there's no question about it. As studies show, the people that give the most charity are conservatives. The people that are following a moral code are those that are following the Bible.